ladies and gentlemen. You know that song? You know what it means? That means it is the weekend. And it is also time for the James Freel Show. I am your host, James Freel. As always, I am very happy to have you with me. So, I've broken my promise. I think last week, when I wound up doing this show from my car, I had said, alright, this is the last time for a while that I'm going to wind up having to do this in a vehicle. Because last week's show, and then the week before that, I had finally gotten a show in the studio after 2 weeks of being out. And now I'm back here again. And yes, if you're a fan, doubt it. But if you are, it can be frustrating because it sounds like garbage. And also, I can imagine that you're getting the sense that I don't take this seriously. Well, I do. If I didn't take this seriously, I wouldn't still be putting them up. What do you think about that, America? Yeah, most people would have quit by now. They would have put up, what is this, episode 42? By the way, today's date is October 11th, 2018. No, October 12th. Well, I might as well keep it real. It is the 11th. When I just do a sneak pre-recorded show, it kind of makes sense to keep it a secret. But now, since I've been doing these so frequently, pre-recorded, it is what it is. The reason why I will not be, not only will I not be home, I'm going to an event, and it is what it is. So I won't be available for it. I won't be able to be in my studio. I suppose I really could do this on Friday still, but I don't see a good reason to. It airs Friday. I mean, the only thing that's time sensitive on this thing is news for the uninformed. Otherwise, he's like, unless there's huge breaking news coming out. That is one thing, again, that I mentioned last week that has suffered as a result of me doing this in a vehicle like a freak. Is news for the uninformed. I don't remember the last time I printed off a topic sheet, and that upsets me. Although I will say I have not used that as an excuse for the drop in quality. In fact, I think I have just had 2 pretty decent shows in a row. The one before that. The first time I did this in a vehicle was not great, but I think this is a pretty good show. I mean, the past 2. The last one I did in a vehicle was pretty decent. So last week when okay, before I go any further, let's jump into news for the uninformed. I almost skipped it. It's hard to do when you're not sitting there right in front of you. Our top story, Kanye West visited the White House alongside with Jim Brown today to have lunch with President Donald Trump. Kanye West sparked controversy months ago when he, what's that word? When he expressed support for President Donald Trump. Jim Brown's there too. I wonder how Jim Brown feels about Kanye West, because he's like this amazing, legendary football player, and he's sitting next to. I mean, I love Kanye. I not in terms of. I love him in terms of music. I think Latent Registration's a great album. I've actually been jamming to that the past few days. But yeah, I wonder how Jim Brown feels. I wonder if Jim Brown's ever listened to Kanye. I wonder what music Jim Brown likes. Probably old-timey. Alright, I should probably stop. So that's that. Alright, in sports, we are down to the final 4 teams of the World Series. That makes me sound like I really know about sports when I use the term Final Four to describe a baseball event. But we are. The ALCS and the NLCS will be coming up. An American Conference Series. That's one thing about doing this in a car is I'm not nearly as sensitive about sounding like garbage anymore. So teams we got. We got the LA Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers for the NLCS. It's kind of interesting. And on the other side, we got the Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros. Interesting. I heard there was a baseball guy who said we will do anything. The league is basically will do anything to make sure the Dodgers get in the World Series and not the Brewers. I guess that's because of the market size of the Brewers. I guess a lot less people will watch if it's Brewers versus Red Sox. I'd like that. I want to see that. Brewers, Red Sox. Although, Dodgers Red Sox would be pretty cool. I don't want the Astros there. They were there last week. Go home. Go home. Yeah, I'll be rooting for the Red Sox. That's the. I said this when MLB memes, right when the postseason baseball started up, and they were like, so what bandwagon are you jumping on? Like, I'm jumping on the Red Sox. They're doing well. I don't care if the Yankees win more World Series. They already have 27. What difference does it make at this point? That's what's really annoying is when Yankee fans complain like, oh, my son hasn't seen a Yankees World Series. When was the last... hold on. Hey Siri, when was the last Yankees World Series? Let's see here.
The Yankees won the World Series 4-2 over the Phillies. They won the last game 7-3 on November 4th, 2009.
Oh, okay. All right. 2009. So that would have meant I was just starting my sophomore year. Really, it's been that long? Not long ago? I thought it would have been like early 2000s. Whatever. Right on. You can see how much I follow baseball. I'm more of a football guy. Baseball is an in-person sport, and football is a television sport, so football is cheaper. Although, when it comes to watching baseball, I like watching lower-skilled baseball. Like, high school baseball is awesome for me, because it's all at a skill level that I could, like, realistically compete at. I mean, would I? Probably not. But realistically, I could keep up with it. When you got balls going at 99 miles an hour, these huge pitches, you know, it's just like, it's so fast, it's hard to follow for me. Maybe that's because I'm not a real fan. Go ahead and call me that, I don't care. Anyway, finally, in pop culture, although I think Kanye going to Trump's place was kind of pop culture, but voter registration spikes on the heels of Taylor Swift political Instagram post. Vote.org reported nearly 65,000 people nationwide between ages of 18 and 29 had registered since Sunday night. Interesting. So yes, celebrities have an impact on our voting thing. As I've said before, I try to stay non-political. Again, I heard a lot of people either love Taylor for that or kind of mad. I don't know. She's not really country anymore, so if I understand correctly, it was Democratic candidates she endorsed. I don't know. So moving on to the section that you are aware of. Oh boy, this might be a rough one. No, I'm not going to let it be a rough one because I'm on a good streak here. So last time we talked, I had said I was going to go to a haunted attraction. And indeed I went there, and it was a good time. My better half and I went with another couple, and I'm an awkward person. I mean, mostly in terms of interpersonal communication, but also in general. I mean, I'm an awkward guy. I sit in a car and tape record my voice for 30 minutes and then put it on the internet to that freaky thing. That's pretty weird. But today, let's see, October 11th, it feels like fall is finally here. Today is a very chilly day, and let's see if it's going to keep up. Because it could easily go right back. I don't mean to whine about the weather so much, but it is kind of annoying when it's like 50 degrees one day, and then the next day it's back in the mid-80s. That is kind of frustrating. My wardrobe is built for, oh look, it's, at least for the foreseeable future, it's going to stay in the 50s. All right. This is the best time. And it seems like this kind of weather only stays like this for a week at most. Before we know it, it's going to be freezing cold out. And I'm going to be complaining, even though it was just really hot. And I got to find a way to keep my car in a garage because, I want it to last as long as possible. And if it can stay in a garage during these chilly months, I hear that's good for it. Alright, what do we got here? Okay, so today is the first day that feels like fall. And that, I really should add some, like, autumn leaves to the cover of this, the little icon that the only place this is going to go is YouTube. So if you're listening to this, you have to see the icon that, oh, you know, I already have some plans for my Halloween episode, and I got some, that's on a Wednesday this year, though. Man, Halloween comes and goes too fast. It really, really does. I mean, it's already October, and see, that's the thing, Sober October, it's flying by. It is flying by. Last Friday, before we went to the haunted attraction, I was at one of the workers at our place took a new job, so it was his last day. So we all went to this brewery, and honestly, a lot of people doing Sober October may have had a hard time there. I didn't, because at the age I'm at right now, and James, if you're listening to this in the future, you may disagree, because I'm very young still. I'm only 24. Things are likely to change. I don't think this will. It could. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. Actually, you in the future, you do know. But I'm not a huge fan of those fruity beers. You know, I like beer that tastes like beer. I'm not even that much of a beer drinker. Anyway. And there I go again, making myself sound like I have some sort of problem because I'm talking about Sober October. But like I was saying, it's literally flying by. And it's not that difficult. It's even not... I thought the part that would be the hardest is when football and sports are on, because nothing, for me, my money, is better than watching a game with a few frosty brews, if you know what I mean. But I digress, though. Oh, geez, so where was I going to go with that? I had a good time at that networking event. It wasn't really networking, it was just the office all came in, and I was on. I'm not always on, but I felt like I was then. Maybe it was easier because I was the one sober guy in a crowd of a lot of people. And when I told them about Sober October, they're like, "What? I've never heard of that." And I'm like, it's like No Shave November. It's just the thing. I was off the grid August, which I believe I did do. Yes, I did I only made it. Whoa. Almost got hit. I'm in the prime location to be driven into because there's this speed bump right off to the side, and people always try to drive around it, which puts them in a prime position to hit me. So that was fun. What would happen if I got hit and they didn't have insurance? What would be the repercussions of that? Would I just be SOL? Because that really would be a bummer. That really, really would be. I mean, can you work those things out amongst yourself? Like, listen, man, I don't know. All I'm saying is I won't call the police if you, I want you to $2,000. It's probably what it's going to cost to get this fixed. I don't know. Who does know? Where was I going with that? I guess, basically, yeah, I was odd. Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's a legit show, and I have no problem yawning on the air. And I'm going to put that on the internet. I'm laying back in my car right now, as though I'm like at a psychiatrist or psychologist. I don't know what the difference is. Let's look that up, actually. Oh, am I crushing my bag? No, I'm not. But, here we go. All right, let's go to the old reliable Google over here. Psychologist versus psychiatrist. Alright, let's see what we got here.
According to all psychology schools, because psychiatrists are trained medical doctors,
So psychiatrists are trained medical doctors. They can prescribe medications, and they spend much of their time with patients on medication management as a course of treatment. Psychologists focus extensively on psychotherapy and treating emotional and mental suffering in patients with behavioral intervention. Isn't psychology... Is that like... Did Freud come up with that? Or did... I don't know. And how effective are drugs for mental health? To me, it seems like the brain is so complicated that if you were to... It's like a Rubik's Cube. Which I can solve, by the way. but it's like a Rubik's Cube. I mean, and you don't know how to solve it. You're just trying to fix one thing. It just seems like the brain is so complicated that if you were to try to just add one chemical, it would mess with a ton of other stuff. Maybe there's no foolproof solution. Oh boy, there was about 3 seconds of dead air right there, but who cares? Nobody's listening anyway, just me. Alright. Done talking about the psychiatrist and the psychologist. That wasn't on the list of rambling topics, but it made its way on there. Got a lot of filler going here. A lot of filler. Mostly because I'm kind of exhausted right now. It is what it is. But I shouldn't complain because I'm only working like 55 hours a week. That's nothing. But it fluctuates. Sometimes it's only 48. It changes. I still make time to do this, to sit down and, that's why I should have been talking about psychology and psychiatry, because I think someone could listen to this and maybe do psychotherapy, but I'm still curious. I mean, what's the difference between a psychologist and a counselor? Because they kind of seem like the same thing to me. Psychologist versus counselor. I mean, let's see. Psychologists are more likely to work with individuals with serious mental illnesses. They are trained to perform psychotherapy on a range of clients, but in many settings, general therapy roles will go primarily to counselors and other master's level mental health practitioners. Clinical but like, how reliable is psychology? It kind of seems like a scam to me, just because the brain is so incredibly subjective. Listen, I realize I'm coming off pretty ignorant right about now. I have no clue what it is I'm talking about, especially when it comes to psychology. More dead air. That's what I'm talking about. More dead air. So what else is going on? So Saturday. Yeah, Sober October, man. It's really good because you don't have any sort of headache when you wake up. You're clear-minded, and I will say, right now I'm at a moment in my life where I feel like I'm living my best life, and that has a result to do with, I think it does have a result to do with cutting out alcohol. I don't know, it's like it lifts this cloud that's around me. It's like, oh, that's gone. And it might also be in my head, but people around me are telling me, oh, you're doing a better job at doing the role you have in my life, and that makes me feel good. But, see, there's a tough position, because it's not like I'm never going to drink again. It's like saying you're never going to have cake again. I guess moderation is key. Look at me, James, making some bland observations that you think, I don't know. You know what I do know? I think I'm going to take a nap before I go in to start my night job. You know what it is. Saturday I had that clarity of mind. What did I do after that? What did I do Saturday? So, I remember now. Me and my better half, we went and filmed this engagement video. See, we had an engagement video. By the way, the haunted attraction the night before was a good time. Very detailed. We went through it kind of quickly. The guy leading it was going at a very brisk pace. I would have liked to have gone a little slower, but hey, he volunteered to lead because I chickened out on doing it. So, you win some, you lose some. We also had ice cream. I didn't get any, though, because I'm not a big fan of ice cream. I probably looked a little weird there because I wound up getting a Diet Coke. What are you talking about? Anyway, so then the next day, weather was good. Oh, I remember Perez Hilton. Yeah, I saw him at the Banks in Cincinnati. I didn't even know who he was. But my better half was like, James, I'm pretty sure that's Perez Hilton. I'm like, who? He's like, he was a blogger in the, in the 60s, or not the 60s, the 2000s. I was like, oh. And she got out her smartphone and Googled it, and it turns out he was here in Cincinnati for some sort of event. And, hold on. Whoa. Oh, wow. Got 20 minutes. So, saw him, and then he wound up, I don't know, my better half mentioned him in an Instagram post. And he wound up liking a few of her photos, and then he found my Instagram, and he liked that. So do with that information what you will. I will say this, James Freel is back on Twitter. And if you thought that I was done with the insipid dribble, you were wrong. Because that's what I was essentially doing today. Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm looking at tweets. That's what you want to hear when you're... Yeah, that's what you want to hear. Oh, jeez. Alright, okay, back to what I was talking about. So the filming went alright. I would have never paid for it, although I might have, depending on the rates, but the people were very kind. I think they did a very good job. I still haven't seen it yet. We will see it when we see it. How many yawns is that by now? Alright, yeah, this is officially not going to be a winner. But, 2-2. If we're starting back, makes it a little rough, given the circumstances. One thing I wanted was, like, last week I had that ranting section. And now I don't have that. I mean, I don't have anything to be fired up about. But it seems like being in your car is an easier place to rant than sitting at home with a microphone. I don't know. How many I don't knows have I said in this? How many times have I said something just to fill up dead space because I don't have anything interesting to say, but I still feel obligated to keep these shows going because I have a streak going that I want to keep up, and eventually 2 or 3 years down the road, if I keep doing this every week, I have a hope that some sort of quality might happen, but at the same time I'm doing the same thing over and over, and that's like the definition of insanity because I'm not really trying anything new. It's all the same. All I do is keep writing and talking about the news, and it's not interesting, and yet for some reason I keep doing it, and the day's going to come where I'm not going to find this fun anymore, and then I'm going to go back and listen to these and think, oh my goodness, I put this on the internet, I seriously put my career on the line. Not really, though, because I don't use my real name. You already know that. My name's not... I've probably even slipped out my actual name a few times, but who knows. That's your rant for the week. That's that. Oh, jeez. So where am I at here? Let's get a little closer. Don't have my glasses on. I'm sorry if that was really loud. Okay. Got to kill 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Alright. So I got to tell you, I do have to tell you that the fat on me has nowhere to hide right now. Because I have been very diligent about my cardio routine, and I think I finally found a good metric to determine whether I'm working out hard enough, and that's my heart rate. These ellipticals these days are so advanced that they can tell you your heart rate, but I'll get back to that in a second. So Saturday, I did that video filming, and then after that, we went back home. We started the movie The Lobster. We're going to finish it. It's pretty good. It just needs to be finished. It was very interesting, though. And Sunday, I got up. We did our little financial class that we do every week. We have 2 weeks left of it. And then I went home and I watched football. I did not drink. It was the first Sunday of the year that I did not enjoy a beverage, and my Cincinnati Bengals made a 17-point comeback against the Miami Dolphins. This is Steelers week, though. It's going to be rough. If they can win, that'd be awesome. I'd be pumped. I will go full Bengals mode. Like, I'll be screaming, we're going to the Super Bowl, we're going to the Super Bowl. Do I think we're going to? Unlikely, but it could happen. You never know. It's like the AFC is so dominated by the same players every year. So that was Sunday. I went to bed early. Monday, I don't think I can remember a single defining trait from Monday. I really don't think I can. Tuesday, I remember clocking out here last week, my night job. Monday, no. What did we do Monday? You know, the only thing that keeps my life recorded in any sort of way is this and what episode of The Office I'm on. Because, yes, I got really into it lately. I'm on season 6. I think I started 3 or 4 months ago. It's a good show. It's entertaining. You can judge me. I don't care. 'Tis what it is. That's what it is. Oh, I remember something we did Monday. We went to this Halloween store. You know, those ones that set up, they rent out space and try to cash in on the holidays. It doesn't work as a year-round thing. And those places used to be, I thought they were so much cooler when I was a kid. I mean, I don't want to, I think they've gotten lamer, but I mean, I don't want to be that person who gets older and then just decides that everything that isn't the same is lame. And I think I'm at risk of doing that. But at the same time, like, there was so much more detail that went into these things. And now it's just like, meh. It's the handle up here on my vehicle. Alright. You know, one thing I want to try is there's this product. And, you know, I'm not going to say their name, because that's the only way I can convince you guys that I'm not being sponsored by it. Although I wish I was. That time I claimed I had sponsors. That was hilarious. What a loser I am. You know, but when you're trying to get a show together, you know, it is what it is. Oh, I've already lost followers because I'm tweeting insipid drivel on my Twitter account. Which, you know, will happen from time to time. There's this stuff, and you, like, mix it. It's like a meal in a bottle. And I want to know if you feel full after drinking it. I know it's not going to taste all that good. I get it. But I'd like to try it just as, like, maybe a replacement for my lunches. Because when I do the math, it's actually probably about the same price or even less than what I spend on a lunch now. So, there's that. Yeah, now that I'm doing the short math in my head, it most likely, if nothing else, it's around the same, but couldn't be too much more. It's then Tuesday, I really don't remember much. Wednesday, yesterday. What did I do Wednesday? I don't know. Oh yeah, I went to the gym at a local college, and which shall remain nameless, but people I know may have used to gone there, and I may exploit their lax security for their gym. No, I'm kidding, we sign in. I was going to try to make a joke there, but the show's already almost over. Alright, this was definitely not what I was hoping for when it comes to, although I will say this felt like it flew by. But at the same time, this was not one of my better shows. So that's going to be the show for this week, though. Next week I will, mark my words, be back. Maybe I'll send some photos out of what I'm doing tomorrow on Twitter. I don't know. No one follows me. Who cares? Yeah, go Bengals. You know, beat the Steelers. I'll be taking you seriously. Like, for real. I'm already taking you kind of seriously, but we got to win this if we're going to be serious in the playoffs and not be the same old. All right, take care, folks. Bye.